Well, according to the American Heart Association, daylight saving time can have a serious impact on your heart and brain health. So what can we do to protect ourselves and stay healthy? Joining me today is Dr. Arash Karnama with OSU Medicine. Dr. Karnama, welcome in.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Great to see you. So, of course, we lost that hour of sleep earlier this month, right? So people may think, 1 hour, not too much time. We can do this. However, it does lead to an uptick in heart disease and stroke incidents. Let's just start kind of with an overview here. Tell me why just that 1 hour and changing your sleep pattern can have such an impact on your heart health.
Well, as you mentioned, the American Heart Association sent that advisory. What we know is even regularly there is a circadian rhythm that our body is tuned to. And we know that in the morning hours there's more heart attacks, and in the evening hours there's less heart attacks. And in any change in this circadian rhythm due to time change, due to shift work, extra stresses can cause an uptick in heart attacks and strokes. And we've known this for a while, but the American Heart Association just put hard numbers on this. So in their advisory, they said there was a 24% increase in heart attacks right after daylight savings based on their study that they presented 5 years ago at their conference.
And then when we look at the opposite of this, I'm curious, did the study say anything about when we gain that hour of sleep back in the fall? Does it have any of the opposite effects there?
That's exactly right. About a 21% decrease in that in the days after the fall back, or when we gain that hour back. And so it's real important for people to adjust that circadian rhythm by getting a few more hours of sunlight before the spring forward in the time, less caffeine. So people try to compensate by drinking more caffeine, taking naps. You shouldn't do that. Shouldn't drink more caffeine, and the healthy things that we talk about, which is exercise and eating right, those should be followed even more closely.
You just kind of read my mind there. Let's talk about, heart health in general, things that we can all do to really protect ourselves from changes like daylight saving time. Give me some tips here for people watching, what we can all do to support our heart health.
So what we know is, in general, the folks that tend to have more heart attacks and strokes have high risk features. The problem is most people don't know if they're high risk or not. So the basic things to know is what's your cholesterol, what's your blood pressure, and know those things. And there's also screenings that your doctor can do to see if you're high risk. And definitely if you're high risk, you really want to pay attention to keeping your weight down, to exercising, to get plenty of sleep. Everybody should get more sleep. But those are some of the things that I would do.
And let's talk about any screenings or prevention that you think is important for our viewers to know about.
Yeah, so in 2023, we have a rover on Mars, but it's kind of interesting that the #1 cause of death in the United States, which is heart disease, most people don't know if they're at higher risk. And there's pretty sophisticated tests now that can predict whether you're a high risk for heart attack and stroke. One of the ones that I generally look at is a calcium score that looks at the amount of cholesterol buildup on your heart arteries and gives us an idea of what your risk of future heart attack and stroke is. And so I think that's a really good test, a good prognostic test that will predict whether you're high risk or not. So that's just one thing. But like I said, to know your blood pressure, to get a blood pressure cuff and know your blood pressures, to check your blood sugars when you have your physical to make sure that you're not diabetic or pre-diabetic. Certainly if you have a family history of heart disease, this becomes paramount for you to know that.
Such important information here, Dr. Karnama. Thank you so much for coming on today. We know this adjustment is really hard for people this time of year, but hopefully with some of the things you shared with our viewers, we can help make that just a little bit easier. So we really appreciate your time.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.